How did algebraic notation, for terms, evolve historically? Have you ever wondered how we went from writing out math problems in full sentences to using symbols and letters? The journey of algebraic notation is fascinating and shows how mathematics has become more accessible over time. Let's take a closer look at this evolution. In the beginning, algebra was expressed in a rhetorical style. This means that instead of using symbols, mathematicians wrote everything out in words. For example, instead of writing x plus 1 equals 2, they would say, the thing plus 1 equals 2. This method was common in ancient civilizations like the Babylonians and lasted until about the 16th century. While this approach was clear, it was also quite lengthy and not very practical for complex calculations. As time went on, a new style emerged known as syncopated algebra. This was a transitional phase where some symbols and abbreviations began to appear, but the expressions still relied heavily on words. A notable example of this can be found in the work of Diophantus in the 3rd century, and later, by the Indian mathematician Brahmagupta in the 7th century. Syncopated algebra introduced some shortcuts, but it was not a fully developed system of notation. The real game changer came in the 16th century with the rise of symbolic algebra. This new system used a complete set of symbols to representing numbers, unknowns, and operations. François Viète was a key figure in this development, as he systematically introduced letters to representing unknown quantities. Then, in the 17th century, René Descartes popularized the use of letters like X, Y, and Z for unknowns and A, B, and C for known quantities. This laid the groundwork for the modern algebraic notation we use today. Throughout the 17th and 18th centuries, mathematicians like Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz and Leonhard Euler further refined this notation. They introduced symbols for operations and functions that we still use today. For instance, Euler helped standardize notation for powers and roots and popularized the Greek letter pi to representing the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. This evolution from words to symbols made algebra much more concise and easier to work with. It allowed complex equations to be written clearly and solved systematically. This is essential for teaching and understanding the basics of algebra. For learners today, knowing this history helps us appreciate why algebraic terms are written the way they are. Letters now representing unknowns or constants, and symbols show operations. This notation simplifies working with expressions and solving equations, making algebra approachable and practical for everyone. So, the journey of algebraic notation has transformed from full sentences to a rich symbolic language, shaped by influential mathematicians. This progression has turned algebra into a universal language of mathematics that supports learning and problem solving effectively.